my name's Adrian Valentine, and welcome to my Sunday review. Today I want to talk about The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Alright, let's talk. So it's a rainy day here, it's pretty dark outside, which reflects the book really well. All the characters in this novel have some kind of flaw. None of them are really normal. Each of them in their own way is an addict to something. Exploring these addictions and how they come to justify their actions is really interesting. Each chapter is split up into dates, and Hawkins writes a very chronologically correct narrative. Things jump around a bit, but when that is done, it's done really well, and it builds a lot of suspense. You may see into the future a little bit and see some crazy event happen and wonder how things got to that point, and then you'll backtrack and come to that point eventually. It even starts off at a random place, and the entirety of the book is trying to get you back to that point. The whole narrative has a very eerie and ominous feel. It's just dark, which is fantastic. I totally understand the appeal. It's a very popular novel. Another thing it does really well are the characters. None of them are two-dimensional. They're all explored very in-depth. One little flaw that's present is the non-justification for the erratic behavior of the male characters, whereas the female characters are shown to be flawed in their own way. By seeing through their perspective, you can understand why they do the things that they do, and they're given a little bit more leeway. However, the male characters, being set back to more supporting roles, are not given justification for their actions, and it just seems like they're fucking crazy. And there is merit to that. Elucidating the patriarchal problems of males' egos and their need to possess is a very important thing to do in popular novels like this. However, with only one character being like a baseline of normal male behavior, it just seems overdone at times. That being said, the bastardization of female characters is prevalent throughout many other narratives, so I don't think the chapters aren't just split into dates, they are also split into character perspectives, though providing intrigue does actually limit the narrative at times. There are many moments you want to see the story unfold from a different perspective. You're kind of aching for it. You want to know what's actually happening, but you are stuck in one person's point of view. However much that does make the experience of reading this novel a little bit more realistic, it can be frustrating at times. That being said, the characters do connect really well, and the suspense is heightened by the effect. This is a very suspenseful novel. The murder mystery is meant to keep you reading and to keep you engaged, make you want to know what actually happened between the characters and who is guilty for the crime. But to be honest, it was all lost on me. I am not the target demographic for this novel. I didn't like the main character. I could not sympathize with her. I did not care for her plight. Just couldn't care less who murdered the person that ended up dying. The aha moment of this book was just unrealistic for me. I didn't believe it. Even so, I can see the appeal of this novel. I understand why it is so popular, and I do recommend it for people who want to read about dark female characters going through psychological issues, dealing with oppressive men. It did keep me entertained, but I wasn't in a rush to finish this novel. But there are a lot of moments where you are reading and subtle allusions to something that's happened in the past makes you go, oh, wow, that was a cool connection. The introspectiveness of the characters is the best thing about this novel. Rachel at one point is going through an identity crisis, which she goes through kind of throughout the whole novel, and she says, I liked my job, but I didn't have a glittering career, and even if I had, let's be honest, women are still only really valued for two things, their looks and their roles as mothers. I'm not beautiful and I can't have kids, so what does that make me? Worthless. It is a very blatant and direct, naked view of how a person might think. Even when it comes to the alcoholism, on the same page, Rachel says, but I did become sadder, and sadder gets boring after a while, for the sad person and for everyone around them. And then I went from being a drinker to being a drunk, and there's nothing more boring than that. She's aware that her pity party has ended and sympathy can only go so far. Overall, I give this book a 3 out of 5, mainly because I am not the target demographic for it, but I can appreciate its value. If you want to read a novel about women going through some identity crises or very in-depth characters who change and are critical of themselves, then definitely give this book a read. Or if you like dark murder mysteries and you're looking for something that's going to give you a little bit of suspense. Thanks for watching my review. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Let me know if you enjoy books about broken characters in the comments below and which ones you would recommend. I also have a website, avvalentine.com. Please check it out for more book reviews, travel blogs, and short stories. Good talk. It's actually coffee in there, if you're wondering.